Yeah, but you're right. That's what we're talking about, man. Especially in Las Vegas. You're going to see that all over the world, all over the U.S., man. You're going to see that. California, you're going to see that. And that's the sad reality, man. I think everyone's been infected by it. We all have friends that have been affected by it. I don't think there's really anyone that hasn't had someone that they know that's like either a family member or a friend that has, done that, has taken themselves away from here, and that's tough.
Yeah. Let us guess. You're starting a new business or career. You want to get your message out online, but you don't know how, you don't know where to start, and you don't know what to avoid. Well, let me tell you, this is a great first step. This podcast is here to help you navigate the world of your business, sales, and networking for brand new entrepreneurs like us.
Here, and that's tough. Yeah. That's tough because I mean, I've personally
you got to keep mentally sharp, especially in these situations, because if you don't, you're going to subject to all the negative, dark clouds that are going to start entering your mind. You know what I mean? You can't. I know it sounds easy to say you can't when all the negative is surrounding you. I don't know what you guys do to prevent that or to protect your minds. I mean, I just try to not focus on those things and focus on things that I can affect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just had a friend that committed suicide a couple of years ago, man. And his memory just came up on my Facebook, and I wish he would have reached out to me, or I wish I had reached out to him more, although I think I talked to him a day or two that it happened, so you just never know. You got to protect your mind.
Yeah. I've experienced severe depression. This was like 5 years ago. And it would, at the end of it, it was such an honor to experience that. But at that time I didn't have anybody to relate with, or talk to about it. So I was really alone. And, I'm gonna be for real. Like, there were moments, especially after reading that article, that I was like, oh, there were split seconds where I was like, wow, what if I take these opiates and this alcohol,
sure,
and I don't wake up,
away.
Sure.
Right? And it was just one thing. Like, it was a person on Periscope that I followed, and he was a fitness person, and he started doing like his morning like talking about his morning routine. And like, it shifted. Like, it was just that one thing, and being able to have support with somebody else, or at least being able to bounce off ideas. And I think there's also there's a shame too. There's this shame that comes up for people, like, oh, I'm not depressed, or I'm not feeling this way. I'm fine. But like, at the end of it, like, you're not, and like, I think in Western culture, we're so prone to like suppress our emotions. And, we don't have platforms like this, or people don't feel comfortable talking about what's going on inside, and I feel like what you guys are doing, and like just even having this conversation now, like somebody watching this, they might even feel better of talking about it, and then just getting it out.
Ben and I were just talking about that the other day. That one of my big WTFs on Wednesday, we just not tying it into that, but really we're just talking about that as men. I know I do that. I don't address things, or I just, change my focus and focus on different things. So I'm not either asking for help or maybe addressing the situation up front, where I will let it fester because I just figure I can do it better. I can just take it over instead of just addressing it and fixing it at the time. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Talking about not reaching out for help and not, having that communication, because you're right. It does feel lonely. I know as in real estate, you're in the same game. It gets lonely at times. A lot.
That's what we were talking about that. We go back to the funny story of like back when and there was always that stigma. You would see those commercials or videos back in the day I don't know I forget how old you guys, before phones and addresses, right? Guys were the GPS. Us men were the maps. We were the maps, right? We didn't need we know how to get there, right? And
Nothing.
we talked about
Didn't need nothing.
right?
Right.
And
instructions don't need it.
they don't need directions. And I remember my dad was that guy. He was a very, very stubborn guy. I think that really, like, he was like, okay, I know how to get there. And he would study the map. And then remember, I don't know if you guys knew, but remember the Thomas guide?
Oh, I'm a Thomas guide master, brother.
So we always had one. My dad would be like, he'd tell me, this is the answers to your problem. He'd tell me, you got to get this, go look. And then when we get to the gas station, he'd tell me, go look at the Thomas guide and tell me and go find on the map. So, like, I knew how to look in the map and go, okay, great, and really understand how to look at that Thomas guide.
Love them grids, man. Love them grids.
Well, while you're looking at the Thomas guide, he's in the convenience store. He's like, to the cashier, he's like, hey, how do I get to this place right here?
Yeah.
He ain't getting gas. He's over there getting directions.
Yeah. But you know where the Thomas guide was, right? You know that was what? You know what's by? It's by the nudie section. So, like, you look. So instead of looking at the Thomas guide, you're like, you're peeking over. You're like, oh.
It was right next to it. Like,
man, before give it up the secrets, man.
Behind it, you know. Now you have to. Then you had to ask for the Thomas guide, and it was still by the nudie magazines, right next to the Playboy magazine. You're like, oh shit, these guys know what they're doing, marketing.
Marketing, man, marketing,
placement,
right? Product placement.
Yeah, they knew that. Like, oh, by the way, give me that too while you're at it. You know? Well, I was too young back then. But the point is that it's our ego, it's our strength. That's where we get our. I think a lot of the ideas, men need that ego to have that strength, right? To give you to say, okay, great. And there is a you do have to tap into that. Just like anything else, too much of it is going to hurt you, right? Anything too much of that ego, too much of that, I know it all.
Arrogance, right? And
exactly. There's confidence. There's a difference between confidence, being confident in what you're doing, and knowing where you're going because you've been there before and you've done it. However, when you've never been there and you've never done it, and you think you know how to get there, then I think that's the ego, right? So that's kind of the idea.
And I think there's something so cool about, like, if somebody asks you, like, hey, do you know about this thing? And you're like, no, I don't, but I'd love to, you know, or I don't know where I'm going. Like, but the confidence in saying, like, I don't know where I'm going is also equally as empowering, you know?
Sure.
That's like, you know, but growing up, Clint Eastwood, Arnold Schwarzenegger, so they never asked for directions.
No, those guys,
you know, I never seen them ask for directions.
I got this. Don't worry. I got this. Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining Business, Sales, and Networking. We're a proud member of the Real Disrupt Podcast Collaborative. You can check out more of our awesome podcasts at realdisrupt.com. getting their questions answered in an environment of support and encouragement. If that's you, join us right now. If that's you, join us right now. right now.